Severance, episode 8, What's for Dinner? You guys have been telling me and John to watch this show. We got around to it. We binged it this weekend. We're like, we can't stop. It's so good. We got to get there on time. We thought it was going to come out Friday for some reason, but it's Thursday. It came out and we're going to talk about it.
Everyone, welcome back to AsArt with Nick and John. So we are on the Severance train, the show, not real life, but we are excited to talk about this. So like Nick said, we have been watching and catching up all week.
Yeah.
I have to admit, we love doing weekly episodes, but it was nice just getting to binge and just not have to wait weeks in between episodes. But we're here and we're excited to talk about this. So Nick, what do you think of this show so far? I mean, we're going to jump into the episode, but has this been up to the hype of our listeners kind of recommending this to us?
Just in case, before we go any farther, spoilers. We're definitely going to be talking about spoilers in this episode. So much to go over, and you're going to hear some crazy theories, but oh my gosh, we're probably going to do another video, maybe just recapping a lot of other theories, but we're just going to really just talk about this episode because there's just so much to talk about. And what an opening. We finally get to see Irving's perspective on the outside. And we would see like dirt or black stuff in his nails before in the past. And we're like, what is that? Is he burying bodies all day? Like, what is he doing? But he's a painter and it totally makes sense.
Yes. So I wanted to ask, so is that elevator, because we saw Miss Casey, right, going to the elevator down to test it. And we know that's below the basement because it had a down. So we know there's something below there. Is that what he was painting, or is he just painting the elevator in general that he goes down to work?
100%.
So he's been down there too then. Okay, so
something's going on.
This is another element to the show that we haven't been introduced to yet then.
Yes.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting to see where this goes.
Yes,
right, cool.
And there's a lot to cover there. First of all, he's painting stuff he's seeing inside the building, which is crazy. And then his love for paintings now is really coming through his other character, where his emotions are definitely coming through to his Innie. His Innie and his Audi are basically the same when it comes to painting. Probably we haven't even heard him speak yet outside of, or we haven't even heard the Audi speak, so we don't know like his personality and stuff. But they did Ace of Spades. I'm like, why wouldn't you just pay for the rights for Rolling Stones for Paint It Black? At that point, like, it's black ink. Nice. He's painting everything. He has so many black like images. It's like, dude, you just pay the money, Apple. You have the money. You probably already own the rights through iTunes. Or whatever.
You know what? I didn't think about that, but that's one of my favorite songs. I would have liked to see
it
Paint It Black.
Perfect for that. And I get the Ace of Spades, so like, but like, I want to paint it black. That would have been a cool editing montage. But, John, it's just so crazy, right? Because the elevator. So Mrs. Casey, we know, is married to Mark. It's even been confirmed now. It's like 100% confirmed through Miss Coleman, right? Coleman? Cobell. I'm sorry. Yeah. Through Miss Cobell. Like, it's been confirmed. Like, it's almost like she wants them to recognize each other. Like, even when she was watching, it's like she wants Mark to wake up or Miss Casey to wake up. And then Miss Casey reveals she's only been awake for like a little bit of time. Like, they've only waken her up for a small amount, and like her lifespan as the Innie is so small, and then she goes down, so she might never leave. She might be a prisoner for all we know, and her Audi's like trapped somewhere, and then they send the Innie up to do work and test and stuff.
Well, and this does become a very interesting thing, and as much as I'm enjoying the story and the episodes, I'm enjoying just the ideas and the concepts behind it as well, obviously. And so, I mean, is she going down there because, I mean, the assumption is, you know, he saw her die in real life. Like, he saw her dead, and so is she.
Did he? Was he in the car?
Send her back down to testing. So is she kind of recreated? Not really her, but she is her. You know,
like
it's
a
kind
robot?
of like a Ex Machina type movie, which I love. If you guys haven't seen that, it's one of my favorite movies in recent years. Or are we talking, you know, getting into like, you know, cloning and things like that? I have no idea, obviously, but it does open the door to, okay, are other people in the office, not Michael Scott, you know, in this world that we're talking about, do they know each other as well? Or is he special and, you know, and Miss Casey special in this regard that they're the only people who are being paired up? I mean, we don't know if they're making something special or working on something special. I mean, maybe they are special in that it's the observation, like, okay, you know, what's going to come through. Anyway, we can do whole episodes on this and the idea, because that's what's most fascinating to me.
Yeah. Thank you again, guys, so much for telling us to watch the show. This is such a good show. It's so funny because we're also watching Halo right now, and I could almost care less about Halo. I hate to say that, but I'm really digging this show.
Yeah, Halo is fun, but for different reasons and definitely not as deep. But this is our wheelhouse for sure.
Okay, so Milchek, it looks like Milchek outed for the job. It looked like he was a part of the...
They didn't say that.
It kind of felt like that, though, right?
She said Milchek did this, didn't they? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's nice. It's not the show that's, would be kind of leading us down a false pretense. It would be one of the actors, or in this case, an actress, thinking, and we just be going along with her for the ride. Yeah. So it would be interesting to see where it comes from. I mean, this has the biggest Big Brother is watching vibe of a show I've seen in a long time. So it's like they could have been watching. I mean, with what's been going on, how could she not be caught with all the fumbles that have been going on, on this last run that they've been going? So anyway, it'll be interesting to see if that was him or something else. Yeah.
You brought up an interesting point. So one thing that's so great about this show is the characters making theories about themselves. Because they're constantly theorizing what their other personalities like, what's really going on, like what's the reason for the goats? Is the code because of the goats? And it's something we would actually talk about. You think the code has to do with the goats? It's like, dang it, they
I love
said
that. It's like they on purpose were almost making fun of us. Do you think the goats? Or it's like, we know you guys out there are having these same conversations. We're gonna have the characters in the show have. I thought that was a fun thing, but in the context of the show, it made sense. It wasn't like taking out of it. It's like, how could you not wonder what your personality would be outside of this? Because it's like you have a completely different clean slate here. It goes to the nature versus nurture thing. Okay, we're going to take nurture out of it up to that point in your life, and you're starting over. You still have your nature, but what else is going to happen from there? And it's fun. Like how would you not be able to wonder about what you're like on the outside? You know, and especially I kicked into high gear when
Hallie,
what's her name, the girl, especially how that when Hallie all of a sudden saw how much of an raging a-hole her Audi is. Like, oh, now you really start to wonder what the rest of the characters are outside. And we've had hints, like the whole nails, and then, the son hugging him. We're assuming it's really his son. We don't know for sure. It was such a quick thing. So it's going to be very interesting. And obviously that's going to be leading into the next episode, really, really fun stuff that we're going to hopefully get answers from. But we're probably going to be as confused as they are going to be, because all of a sudden he's going to be waking up hugging obviously the person he's probably going to not want to be hugging outside. So it's going to be a very interesting experience. Like, I wonder I'm just trying to think of how hard he's going to be freaking out. It's like, oh my God, I'm married to my boss. It's like,
good thing it's not in a bedroom where he's waking up. So, but okay. So we got to talk about that. How perfect is that timing that she's getting laid off and she's at the point where she's like telling Mark to quit.
Yeah.
She's like, go ahead, do it. So like, I mean, it could be the best case scenario, him waking up right now, like with the mindset she's in, because she could almost like give him answers, or it can go the other opposite way. And she's like, oh, I can use this as info to get back in, so
my assumption was she's been so far, I mean, almost indoctrinated into this religion, basically, that she's going to, I mean, she's obviously upset at them right now and it's like, yeah, get the F away from this. But if she sees a way back in to where basically she can get revenge of the people who she feels wronged her too, I would imagine she would want to use that to her advantage. But who knows? I mean, I really like Patricia Arquette. I'd liked a number of films that she's been in over the years. Like I'm a fan of hers. And so it'd be interesting to see, like, I could definitely see for a number of these characters, her being taken a different direction, just being a very dynamic character.
Yeah.
That being said, though, it would seem like it would be more in line with her character, that she just had a temporary falling out from her faith, and then, okay, this is my way back in. And not only am I back with my faith, but I'm back and getting back at the people who wronged me. Yeah, with vengeance. The iron fist,
Okay, so there's some WTF moments in this episode, right?
For sure.
There's a smaller one, but I think it's going to have big ramifications later on. The kiss before she hops in the elevator, right? So So Bert and Ernie and Irving, it's so funny. I almost want to say Ernie and Bert, like from Sesame Street.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie. Yeah, that's what they always say. Bert and Ernie. As soon as you said that, I'm like, boy, you're in the wrong show,
I know, but it's almost like that, because they call him Ern, right? Instead of like short for Irving. Don't they call him Ern at times? So when I hear Bert and Ern, I'm like, ooh, is that close to? Are they going that route? Anyways, but remember how they were talking about, like, it doesn't say our lips can't touch or whatever.
Yeah,
They're going through, but we finally saw a kiss, and I'm curious what that's gonna do no matter what happens when the innies are out and when they come back, or vice versa, or whatever's gonna happen. I wonder how that's gonna affect the dynamic going on.
Well, I mean,
do you think it will trigger emotions and memories, like love? Like love is a trigger.
Know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume that they didn't want that because they're trying to make, it seems like their goal is to have as sterile of a workplace as possible. So all the focus is on just their tasks. They don't want any, cross communication with the other departments. And the assumption sounds like they had that to start off with. There was some type of issues with that, and now they're trying to keep all the different departments at odds with one another. And so, why would they not? Is it like any other workplace? They just don't want distractions, or do they have special, requirements based on, the implants and things like that? I mean, but it's funny because, Patricia Arquette's character, she's constantly testing this with the wellness checks. It's like, okay, so what's going to happen if we, give them more time alone, the husband and wife, and we try and here's the candle, her candle, we put that in there. Are they going to remember any of that? And so she's constantly, even when she was completely 100% committed to their cause, she was still testing that and seeing what's happening. So it's really interesting. So I don't know if anything will come of the kiss other than adding a dynamic to it, but it's interesting, like what you said, like it might cause some other things going on. I just think for me, the most interesting thing is like at some point in the show, are they going to have a conscious decision? It's like maybe the two halves of each person have this. It's like, hey, am I going to be this person? Or am I going to be that person? If they can't, merge the two together, and how do you figure out which one you're going to be? It's kind of an interesting thought, but this is beyond this episode, so I don't want to get too far off track, but it's been fun. Yeah, it's been fun.
The other WTF moment, John, do you want to talk about it?
Sure.
The mask, the bed, the waffles, go for it.
As soon as that happened, I'm like, what shit show am I watching? That
has to be some kind of religious cult, right?
That is the weird of end of quota. Congratulations I have ever. Now, we've heard some weird stuff about some different companies out there in recent years that you don't know what's going on, but that I was just watching that. I was just like,
with the masks and
there's
the founding fathers,
and there's I'm like, I thought it was just weird that he was going to pick up the mask, and then he had the whip on the bed. So he was supposed to, after they were done dancing, I think he was supposed to go and whip them as like punishment. Yeah, with the different words. It's like, he's like,
or was he supposed
I'm
to
help my
whipped?
friends break up. I think he was supposed to whip them.
Oh,
I
okay,
think.
okay.
Well, you know what? I have no idea. I'm not
Good
part of
thing
this
he ran
freaky
away.
cult. Yeah. Run away.
And
but,
his Batman utility belt comes in handy like crazy. It's a door locker. And you can tie up someone. What's next? Go on.
Yeah. I was so confused by that. And I think that's just one of those freaky weird things that
I think
I don't
it's revealing
need any explanation from it. It was just, you're just like,
okay.
What the hell am I watching?
I think it's given us information about Lumen. I think it's very culty, and what's affiliated with goats most of the time. It's sacrifices, right?
Yeah.
And so if they're breeding goats for sacrificing for some point, and who knows what the numbers are and what are bad numbers and good numbers, but it's just like, whoa, what is going on here? I feel like I'm getting very much cultish vibes out of Lumen.
Oh, do you think? Come on. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
After you saw Patricia Arquette's character's shrine that she had, I'm like, yeah, pretty sure we've gone over the way of the cult.
And it looked like a child's bedroom too.
In that he was in, you mean?
No,
or?
the Mrs. Cobell's room.
It?
It looked like a child's room, almost, like with the way the posters were set up and stuff like that.
Oh,
and then she was holding on to that breathing medical device. So I don't know if she lost a parent or lost a child or something like that, and maybe she turned to the faith, and that was like her turning point. But anyway, it's like another deep dive.
It does seem to be a common theme for most people. I mean, they're coming. They are willing to go under that procedure because of an extreme loss. And so it makes sense that the other ones, and I'm curious about the other characters as we get more information on that. But so we left off on a crazy note on this episode. And I was telling Nick before we started, he's like, what do you think about that crazy cliffhanger? I told him, I said, if that was the last episode of the season, I'd have been so mad. I'd have probably just never watched that show again because I don't. Cliffhangers are fine, but when you have a cliffhanger with no information whatsoever, it's like, well, F you, I'm done with your show. You know,
mean
but
even like a baby being born, like a snake baby?
Yeah, it's
Raised by wolves. Guys, check it out.
If you guys haven't seen that, I was almost done after season 1. Like we'll maybe do 1 or 2 episodes of season 2 when it comes out. And 2 years later, we started it. We're like, all right, this is a good show. But anyway, but yeah. But we have another episode. I think we're gonna get some fun.
Oh yeah.
Enough closure to feel like it's a good chunk of information for season 1. But what do you think's gonna happen?
Oh, I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be the quickest any Audi experience ever, because it looks like you have to hold them both the whole time while they're on. I mean, if you know what I mean, because remember he would hold it and let go, and it like goes directly back to off automatically.
So it wasn't like a switch. Like
no, because remember
like
when he turned it,
switch.
yeah, and it was like it's like almost like a flexible switch, and
it looked like it's like a spring loaded.
Exactly, and it looks like if he slips off one, it's gonna go off. So I think it's gonna be like the quickest thing. He's gonna see, you know, his boss or something like that. You know, then they're all gonna be like, I know Heidi, not Heidi, Haley. Heidi, I know she works for the company. It looked like she was at the company party.
She was at the party.
Gosh.
I mean, when they were
totally
rolling out that carpet, you're like, okay, they're gonna do something with that carpet. You see her, you know, drinking. I'm like, okay, so
all
she's
dressed up.
And just the willingness to send her back in over and over again after her Innie tried to hang herself. It's like she has to. You said that you had mentioned that it's like she has to be in with the company in some way. Maybe she has some stakes in the company, or related to the company somewhere or another. But
punishment.
She clearly was at a party of for that Friends of Lumen.
Yes.
Yeah, so I didn't notice about the whole toggle for that.
I just like, I'm like, it's going to be such a tease to us, because they're going to be there for like a quick second. They're like, how are we going to do this again?
If they knew, I know that's what I was going to ask you. So if they knew it was going to be a spring-loaded switch, which maybe they didn't know either, why did they send like the short chubby guy? Why didn't they send the guy with the longest arms? He volunteered himself
to do it.
Yeah,
and he was very much, I know. But it pisses me off, because Mark's going to be stuck with his old boss, and I don't know if he's going to be able to even talk or get information out. And no one's going to believe her at the party. Haley are. And then I feel like
he's painting, so he's not going to be able to talk to anybody.
But
maybe paint it down.
His
like
Innie though, he's like this. Oh, look at the artwork. Like he gets so distracted by artwork. He's going to be so amazed that he's an artist. He's going to be so amazed that he's an artist. He's not going to do anything else but look at his paintings. Like that's all he's going to do. Like
I love his character.
He'll like want to search for Bert, but then but he's going to be stuck and be like, a dog. Oh, painting, He's going to be like I'm like, why did they send him out? He's Mr. Googly eyes, dude.
What I wanted to I love his character, by the way. The actor is.
I mean, I love
marvelous.
all the characters. I don't have like a least favorite.
That's true. They're all very good. We'll have to talk about Christopher Walken another time, because
Bert, we want Bert back.
Yeah. As soon as he was on screen, I got more interested in the show, But my question is, how do they think that? Because the guy who's flipping the switches right now, he was saying this is just the beginning. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dylan was saying this is just the beginning. If they get caught doing this the first time, how do they think they're ever going to get access to do this again? Like, I almost feel like this would be a one and done thing if they get noted in any way, shape, or form. And clearly, he's planning on potentially getting caught because he's tying up the doors so they can't get in quickly if they need to. So, how do they keep thinking this is going to be a multi-time thing? Like that didn't make sense to me. And if you guys know, like, down in the comments,
it could be a happy accident though. There's a party going on. Who knows if Milchek is even there? He might be at the party. He thinks Dylan's at his little orgy weird thing going on. Who knows exactly what's going on at this point? It could have been the perfect circumstance or the perfect storm that everything happened to collide on this day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we get stuff like that in this show quite a bit. We kind of get like, it just happened to be the right moment for this. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I get it. But, it's like, I'll let some things slide, because overall I'm really enjoying the show and stuff like that, where I can easily look over the small little mistakes. I'm just enjoying the show so much.
I mean, I think it's extremely well thought out and executed.
Most definitely. I mean, and shot beautifully too.
Yes, it's beautifully shot. It's so funny. Whenever they're walking down all the halls, I'm like, It just makes me laugh that this is an Apple original show because it looks like this is the cult of Apple. All white halls, and you're going to be nice and clean. If they were using iPads, it'd be like,
man, if they have masks like that in behind with the geniuses, I don't know if I'm going to take my computer there again.
If like the big guy, when he had to wear the mask, if it was a Steve Jobs mask, I'm like, all right, well, this is all making sense now. It's like, but it's been a very fun show, and those of you that are watching this that recommended this to us, thank you so much because we've really enjoyed diving into this. The only thing we regret is we can't just continue binging it like we did to catch up.
It's all right though. We have other fun shows to catch up on. But okay, I want to end on this. So when he was scrolling through looking for Overtime, right? It was called Overtime. Yeah. He was looking. There were so many other applications there.
Yes.
There was Lullaby, which is like, do you just put someone to sleep? Goldfish. Well, I'm like, does that mean your memory span is only like 10 seconds? Because I think a goldfish only is like elephant. Does that mean you never forget? Does that mean like, because I'm thinking like this all has to do with the mind, right? And then you have freeze frame. Like, can you literally freeze a person in place? Like that's pretty scary. And then you have clean slate.
Oh, I'm sorry. Someone did a freeze frame on me. Sorry,
or maybe they did a clean slate. He's like, who am I? Where am I? Yeah. But like, so like, it's just like, there's more options and there could have been more even over past overtime and stuff like that. But so it's just like, what else can they do to people? Cause we saw the pregnant chick, didn't even remember Mark's sister. Yeah. And we know, okay, so maybe there's innies and outies, or they were able to flip it on and off to make it look like she was talking to. I don't know. There's so many good questions that need to be answered. If you guys know down below, please leave some amazing comments because
that's one of our favorite things.
Yeah. And I also think it helps us to organize our thoughts when we do a video afterwards and stuff. Because right now, this is our first video after 8 episodes, and we're just kind of like, just trying to talk about episode 8 without talking about other things. But can I say the payoff for the black ink in Irving's mind, or his dream sequences, finally paid off? I was like, what's the black ink? What's the I was bugging me like crazy. Like, dude, what's going on? Is he drowning in a pool, or what's going on? What's happening? So
I kept thinking like maybe when he's like almost hallucinating because he's so tired, he's seeing that, what they're seeing really isn't there. Maybe it's just like a bare bones. There's a desk there, but it's not actually all textured and stuff. But okay, it was his paintings kind of coming through. So it's fun. I'm really enjoying the payoffs from, what's been happening over episodes and things like that. It's been fun to see that.
And then the glass with the 4 of them, that was cool. That was a cool gift.
That's super cool. Yeah.
And I'm also kind of getting Dharma vibes. If you guys watch Lost, just looming everything with the products. You got the coffee makers, you got the nuts. There's so much we could talk about. We'll probably do another video kind of recapping all the other episodes and try to jumble them together as content. So we'll see what happens. By the way, if you like stuff like this where there's a lot of cliffhangers and stuff, check out Raised by Wolves on HBO Max if you haven't. It's such a good show with a lot of unanswered questions and stuff. And in the comments, we see all the other shows you're recommending too. Me and John are super excited to try to get to as many of them as possible. It's just we work, we edit, we work, we edit, we try to watch a show, we work, we edit, we edit, we try to watch a show. So we're really trying to get there.
But yeah, we would not have even known about this show if it wasn't for the listeners commenting. And we have a ongoing poll. You can always visit that. But comments are super helpful because when we have a new video, we always check the comments. So thank you very much for watching, you guys. Hopefully you've been enjoying Severance as much as we have. We're looking forward to the last episode coming up very soon. Again, like Nick was saying, we're going to be for sure covering the last episode next week of season 1. We'll also be doing maybe just talking about our general thoughts. And then also, like we've been doing with Raised by Wolves, we'll probably be doing some extra videos after the season ends, just talking about our thoughts, where we think the series is going to go, what we loved about it, what we'd like to see more of, and things like that. So check out AsArt.space for all the audio and video links for all the different types of content we do. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next AsArt. Ashes on the wall. Yeah.